let's see. Go ahead and just introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your business. Give us a little plug, and then also what we're looking to accomplish in today's call.
Okay, so I am Cassandra Murray, and I have a boutique recruitment consulting firm, and I'm going to be using Dubb to reach out to prospective clients and to candidates. And so I just mostly want to get set up or find out ahead of time if there's any like tips or tricks that I need to know just to be successful.
Absolutely. Awesome. Okay, so the good news is we have a large recruitment database. Maybe you've heard of David Stephen Patterson. He's probably one of our
Yep.
leaders here.
Hi.
So
Yep.
yeah. So happy to kind of share what is working well for other recruiters. So what we'll do is go ahead and jump right into the screen share here. Anytime you have questions, feel free to stop me and I'll go ahead and ask them. I'm going to provide a little demo of kind of the ins and outs of the platform, and then get into the specifics of what recruiters are doing with it, and also maybe ask some questions about your business operations and what you're doing on a day-to-day, what tool you're using, things like that. Okay. So let's. Okay, you can see my screen here, right?
Yep. Let me see if I can make it larger.
Oh, here I can do that as well.
Oh, okay.
Does that help?
Yeah, a little bit. I still see the whole StreamYard page, and then this.
Yeah. Okay. So unfortunately, we can't avoid that whole thing right now. So forgive me for that. The little text won't be as important here. Okay, let's get into it. So the way the Dubb works. I'm sorry. What was that?
I said okay.
Okay. Okay. So the way the Dubb works is we're really an all-in-one video solution. So what that means is we allow you to create the videos, customize them, and then distribute them. So each of those steps is really important. The first one is the creation. So how do you think you'd be more comfortable creating videos? Would it be in front of your computer or a combination of both?
I think both.
Okay, great. So let me go ahead and show you how that works. The first way is just with the webcam itself. So let me actually switch back to this. So the first one is this cell phone. It has a really cool mobile app. We can do things like start the video facing this way, and then you can flip it around and show the office or show whatever you want to. You can add text, and emojis, and music to the videos, multiple clips. So it's like real-time editing. So lots of stuff we can do on the mobile app. There is a nice little video here that will show you how to use the mobile app. So you see this little eye icon here, where my mouse is.
Yep.
You see, yes, behind that is our video tutorial center. And then right there at the bottom is a tutorial video on how to use the app. So that will cover that. The next thing is the Chrome extension as a screen recorder. So you can see here right where the little Dubb button is, maybe. Mm-hmm. So the way that guy works is when you give it a click, it opens up the Chrome extension. Here, let me zoom in a little bit. Yeah, when we click that guy, you can see my little webcam feed down here. So it's recording the screen at the same time as it's recording my webcam. So this is useful for things like if I want to provide a visual element, like if I'm going over a job listing or if I'm going over a candidate's resume or his qualifications, things like that where the screen recorder becomes valuable. All I have to do is hit record and pretend I have either the job requirements or I have the candidate's resume or list on here on the screen. And I could say here, so I'm just going to go through and explain why this candidate's going to be an awesome fit. They have 30 years of experience in this thing. They've been in this industry and so on and so forth. That's the screen recorder. So you can kind of annotate as you're going along. We can also make the video full screen like this and then minimize it back to the webcam. So it just adds some dynamism. It makes these where you don't have to go and give it to the video editor.
Okay. How do you move that circle around?
You just grab it with your mouse and you can move it around.
Grab it with your mouse. Okay.
But yeah, turn off the annotation tool before you do that. Otherwise, it's going to draw like that behind you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that is the screen recorder and the other type of videos. So we had mobile app, we have a screen recorder that's built in. And then now what email are you usually using? Like a Gmail or Outlook or LinkedIn? Where are you at?
Gmail, and I am using the videos on LinkedIn.
Wonderful. Okay. So inside of Gmail, we do have a direct add-on there as well. Maybe you've seen it. it works just like this. So you see this little Dubb icon here at the bottom of the toolbar.
Yeah.
When you give that guy a click, it gives you access to your library of existing videos.
Gosh,
So anything you have pre-recorded, frequently asked questions, stuff like that, really readily accessible. You just give it a click. I can even put their first name on it. And then that one's ready to go. So that's how you would take any existing video you already have and send it out. And you can also record a brand new one right there as well. So just give it a click, and I can hit record and send you a brand new video. Okay, so that's how it's going to work within Gmail. And then you say you are active on LinkedIn as well, right?
Yes.
So we have, again, a direct integration there. And it's actually going to be just like that Gmail one. So if I go to write a new message, you'll see there's a little Dubb icon there. And also, if I go to add a connection request, you'll see there's a Dubb icon there as well. So like say, if you want to send a video through a connection request, I usually don't recommend doing custom videos for connection requests. Just send a generic one for that. But once you've made the connection is where you might want to have a custom video. Okay, and then now what it looks like through these channels is kind of like this. So we talked about how to create videos. We can either do that through the mobile app or the screen recorder or the add-ons here in Gmail or LinkedIn. Both those places allow you to create the videos. You just give it a click, and then there's a record option. So that is how we're going to create them. The next thing is how to customize these videos. So there's two layers of customization. There's what the video looks like when you're sending it. So, what does the video actually look like on the recipient's end? That's the first level of customization. And then there's also what the video looks like when they're actually watching the video. So if we're sending through email, it's going to look like this. It's going to be an animated preview, which is a little 3-second loop. We can even put their first name on it. The reason we use the GIFs is because historically data has shown this will give you a lot higher click rate than just a link or a plain text email. So we recommend using the GIFs because they're going to give you better click rates in email. But if it's going through social media like LinkedIn, it's going to look just a little bit different. So it'll be a still thumbnail with the link to the video page. So just be aware of that difference of when you're sending these videos. It's going to look either a still thumbnail with the link preview available, and also the title of the video is visible. And where in email, it's not. It's just the GIF, the button, and the personalization text.
Okay.
So that's the first level of customization, is what it actually looks like before they click it. We can make this thumbnail be anything we want. So, for example, this video, it's the first 3 seconds of the video that is making this GIF. But it can be anything we want. It can be a still thumbnail. It can be something completely separate from the video. It doesn't have to be related to the video. It can be an exciting image of something else. The idea of when we're creating these thumbnails is we do want them to be interesting. So say, for example, if you're trying to break through an employer, right? You're really trying to get through to a big-time employer because they have a lot of positions for your candidates. For example, if Nick was that employer, right, and we want to prospect Nick and make him a contact to offer candidates, I would probably create a video on his LinkedIn profile using the screen recorder just like this. So I click on the screen recorder, and I'm actually going to make a video here. And when I'm in my library, you'll see the video looks like this. So that when I'm sending this video through either LinkedIn or text message or an email, he's going to see his LinkedIn profile on that. So like I said, if I'm sending it through email, it looks something like that. Well, that was not in the right place. There you go. So it's going to look like that. He's going to see his face and his name and his LinkedIn. Same thing if I'm sending it through LinkedIn, it's going to have his stuff there. That's a way of typically making those thumbnails more interesting than maybe our face or something generic. So that's something to keep in mind when we are really trying to break through to some high-level contacts, is we want those thumbnails to be something of theirs. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So that's the first layer of customization. The second one is, now what happens when the recipient clicks this link or the button, or he clicks on this message in LinkedIn here? It's going to take them to a video page just like this, except for it's going to be all of your own stuff. It's going to be your own logo, your own watermark, custom background. And this whole video page is really customizable. So the play button, play bar, all of it. The most important parts of these pages, though, are actually going to be right here. This playlist and these call to action buttons. Because when we're creating these videos, it's because we want someone to take action, right? It's something specific we're trying to get them to do. So if it's the recruiter side of things, the employer side of things, sorry, it's to have them look at you as a trusted authority. They want, we want them to view us as, okay, this is a quality source where I can find great candidates for my job opening. That's the ultimate goal. And how would we do that? It's usually through building trust and relationships, right? So you're either meeting these people in person or in phone, or you're doing just such a good job through your reputation and your assets that we don't actually have to meet. I would say that usually, we're having conversations. So for you particularly, how would you say that you're usually solidifying those relationships? Is it through like an appointment, meeting virtually, or how does that work for you?
In the past, it's always just been over LinkedIn. We meet virtually, yes. Yep. And then get on the phone.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect. So they're very similar to other recruiters we've dealt with and other businesses. So do you use a scheduling software like a Calendly or Acuity or anything like that?
Yes, I do.
Wonderful. So we can get your calendar right on the video page just like that. So as I mentioned, this is really the bread and butter of the video pages because we're trying to get people to do specific things, and having those actions just be really clear and concise is going to benefit us. So the ultimate goal is, get on a call, build a relationship, and move it forward. But what if they're not quite ready for that? We want some other things on this page to warm them up. So what that means, depending on whether we're reaching out to the employer or the candidate side of things, these video pages would look just a little bit different. So for the candidates, we want to both show that we have qualified contacts to pitch the candidates to, but that also we're good at, we have a big repository of qualified candidates. You're a good recruiter, basically, is the impression we want to make. But like I said, when we're reaching out to the employer side of things, they want to know you have really great qualified candidates, but they also want to know like your reputation in the industry, or like how much expertise do you actually have in their particular vertical or whatever. And so that's where the social proof, things like the testimonial videos or success stories, things like that are what we want to be really specific. So say, for example, if we're doing recruitment in the IT space and we're trying to reach out to an employer who has IT positions available, we want our page to be set up to make it look like we have expertise in the IT field. So not a ton of other stuff. We don't want to say, hey, we're recruiters for every industry and we're specialized in all of it. We would like it ideally to make it look like we're an expert in this industry. It's like, yes, we can be an expert in other verticals as well. That's great. But what we want them to see is that we're good at that specific vertical. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
I am a specialty niche recruiter. Yeah.
Perfect. And then then the vertical specific ends up being what is going to differentiate you from somebody else. Because, hey, I'm a recruiter. This is what I do. And they're like, okay, but I have specific needs. I want to know that you have qualified IT candidates, or, like I said, whatever the vertical is. And then so that's what we want to do. Because the idea of these videos is kind of like creating a first impression. And we want it to be as strong as we can. Because the idea is we don't necessarily know where they're at. Maybe they're ready for a conversation right now, or maybe they're 6 months away from that actual hiring conversation. And what we want to do is make a lasting, solid impression as quickly as we can. So CTA button. So we have the ultimate conversion, which is like an appointment, but we also want to have things like social proof. Do you currently have some things like that you can leverage, like some case studies or testimonials or things like that?
Yeah, I think so.
Wonderful. So there's a couple of ways we can do that. One is with video. So actually using Dubb, we can collect video testimonials. So say if you had some candidates or some employers that would be willing to produce a little video for you, you can send them a Dubb video and they don't need to download or sign up or install anything. They just click one button and they can record that little video to you and send it over. So that's one way you can collect those. We can also say if you have some written reviews or written testimonials, we could put those behind a button as well, kind of like ours here. This actually goes to our video testimonials page. But if it went to written reviews or anything, it'd be equally as effective. So that's the idea, is to leverage our social proof here because that's going to be one of people's biggest objections or their roadblock when we see this method. Like, okay, so she's a recruiter. Sounds like she knows what she's doing, but who else has she helped? What are her specializations? And that's where the social proof is going to tie in. So, a couple of ways we can do that. If we have a video, we can put it on as a playlist like this. And the cool thing is, at the end of the first video, it's going to transition into that next video automatically. So for you, what that looks like is this first video saying, hey, first name, I wanted to just introduce myself and reach out to you. I thought we had some mutual connections. I thought it'd be valuable to connect or whatever. Or if you have something more specific, like you were saying, hey, first name, I was reaching out to you and I saw you had a position you're looking for in this space. And I wanted to let you know I'm going to have a really great candidate for you. And then at the end of that video, you can tag on, like, say, that candidate video where you're going over the resume of that candidate, or more generic information, like where you're just talking about your expertise and your roster of candidates or things like that. So the way that the playlist works, though, is that the idea is it's like splicing multiple videos together without actually having to do that. So say, for example, if you have one candidate, you're trying to get a position, right? You have a nice video going over that candidate's kind of hit list. And then the first part of the video, you reach out to a couple of places where that candidate might be a good fit. And then you just tag their video on there as a playlist. So that way, in the first video, you're not having to completely explain the candidate or anything like that over and over. We can just have a nice short 15, 30-second video where we're reaching out to the employer side of things, and then tag on pre-recorded existing content. It doesn't have to be a candidate. It can be anything. Like I said, testimonial video. It can even be just learning more about your business and the history of your company and why they want to work with you, things like that. So the playlist is the first thing. And like I said, it's nice because the recipient doesn't have to do anything else to watch this content. It's going to go play automatically. And then, of course, we have the buttons below to really drive home the conversion. So you have calendar integration. You can also have these. You can fill out a form, download an attachment, visit a website or a link of any kind. Just about anything you want these buttons to do, we can have them do. So sometimes with candidates, that might be filling out a form, or it might be whatever, depending on what your particular business looks like. So that's kind of the concept, though, here is we want these pages to be optimized for what we're trying to accomplish. So we'll have video pages for employers, and then we'll have video pages for candidates. Every video you upload to Dubb has its own page. So you can completely change these buttons and the branding and all that stuff for every video you create. We can also have what's called a template. So that if I hit record, it's going to basically build this whole page automatically. So I don't have to come and do anything, editing like that. And that's to be really efficient with our time. So, okay. So we talked about a couple of things. We talked about the creation of the videos, which is webcam, screen recorder, or through the add-ons. And then we talked about the customization of them, which is making the thumbnails look good. And then the video pages themselves being set up for what we want. Excuse me. And then the last thing here is distribution. So how are we typically reaching out to people? Is it just primarily email and LinkedIn, or are we on any other kind of like text message? Or
not really, no, just LinkedIn and email for most.
Okay, cool. So as I kind of showed you, we do have the direct integrations with LinkedIn. For email, we have you said Gmail, right?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, we have the Gmail add-on for that. And then we also have some in-house sending capabilities as well. Like with Dubb, I can send out a large email. Like if I want to send one video to a whole list, I can do that right here on Dubb. Here's an example of an email we sent to 16,000 people. I can also build out workflows. So like a drip sequence of emails, video emails, 4, 5, 10 emails long, however long. So that's all part of Dubb as well. So in addition to sending the videos through LinkedIn or through Gmail using the integrations there, we can also send them through text message, or we can send them through bulk campaigns or workflows. Okay, so I think we've covered the basics here. We've talked about how to create the videos, which is basically any way you want, screen recorder, mobile app, or anyone. And then we customize them so that they look good when we're sending them and they are effective when they're actually watching them, the video page. And then finally, the distribution. So through Gmail, through LinkedIn, or through our tool itself. And now what we do as a service, we include access to the whole tool, unlimited videos, no limitations whatsoever. But then we also provide one-on-one coaching so that we make sure you're getting the most out of the platform. We help make sure that your page is set up like this, that you have the right CTAs attached, video length, script type, all that stuff. We want to make sure we're sharing our expertise with you. So what's working well for other recruiters, we're going to make sure you have those same kind of best practices attached.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, so I'd say that's probably the quick version of it there. We do the creation, customizing, distributing, and then the coaching to make sure that there's just no dark spaces, there's no unanswered questions, and that you know exactly what you should be doing and how to do it. Cool. So let's see. You have any questions for me?
Not yet.
All right. Well, let me jump in here. I'm going to go ahead and point you to a couple of resources. So the first thing I always recommend, so as I mentioned, part of the paid subscription is that coaching. So we're going to take you every step of the way from start to finish. But even without that, we do have lots of kind of self-serve videos or tutorials, I should say. So this little eye icon right here, I told you at the beginning for the app. There's also a quick tutorial video right here. This one shows you how to upload your logo, how to basically build this whole page. So it'll teach you how to build this email signature, attach the call to actions, all that basic stuff. So that is definitely where I recommend getting started, is right here in that quick tutorial video. And then after that, then you would be able to test out a little bit for yourself. You might have some questions after doing the setup. Now, typically what I recommend is to watch that guy, and then I would say to schedule your one-on-one coaching. That's what I usually recommend for people looking to move forward with the product. Okay. Watch the tutorial, get the basic setup, and then schedule your coaching. Okay, and then the other thing is we have live chat support here. This is a real person. So say if between now and the time you scheduled your coaching sessions, you had some questions, you could always come in here and ask live chat support. There's also articles, so you can search there for answers. And then we can also respond to any email you're sent, and those will be forwarded to a live person as well. So we have chat, article, email support, and then, of course, as I mentioned, with the paid subscription, you have access to your one-on-one coaching whenever you need it.
Right. Yep.
Cool. All right. Anything else? Any other questions?
Not yet. I am going to get into it and fiddle around, and we'll see what kind of things I can make happen.
Awesome. Okay, so yeah, all you got to do is come in there, watch that little quick tutorial video, get some basics set up, and then, like I said, plug away. And whenever you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out, and we will get you taken care of right away. Remember, chat support there, email support, and then when we're ready to dive in, we can connect for your coaching as well.
Great. Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right. Well, looking forward to helping you out. Let me know. Bye-bye.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Thanks, Darius.
Yep.